Good morning, everyone. It's been a bit of time since the last update, that was partly due to the fact that I haven't actually been able to trade, having been clearing through MF, and with MF going down, I've been, changing accounts and finding a new clearer, and it's been a pretty rough couple of weeks, not able to do anything given all the volatility that's been happening with Italian yields reaching 7% and all these threats of downgrades and continuing Greek problems and things like that. So there's a lot of issues right now in the market, and there's been a big down move. Sadly I missed it, but been fun to watch, I guess. Looking at the markets, how they've been lately, a lot of distressing facts, and we've actually had seen the Ftse just move down here, and the euro, we've just seen a spike right down right now of 10 points right now. I wonder what that was. And the euro is just coming off too right now just as we speak. Let's see if I can find out what this is, but anyway, whatever it is, I guess I'll find out in a bit. Just looking at the moves in equities lately, and what, if I bring up the chart of the Ftse right now, see, as you can see, after we've moved up massively from our lows in the 4900s, we actually went as low as, where did we get? 48.37 actually. We've actually had almost a 900 point move up to this level at 57.65, and then since then had a few large ranges, and then we've actually come off a good 400 points to where we are now, and the move downwards has been a lot more uniform and much more solid. There hasn't been many wild swings like 100 points up, 100 points down. As you can see, it's been a thin range downwards relative to the previous ranges that we've had over the past couple of months. So if we just look at this range right now, as you can see, we've actually found, we've had a mini head and shoulders here, and then we sort of had a double top again at 55.62, and then since then it's pretty much been one way downwards with very little retracement, maximum 20-30 pips. The actual size of this range is no more than about 60-70 ticks, and we've just been going down in that range since, and now we've actually broken out of that range, as you can see. Now the real question is this a false breakout, or are we going to go test some levels that we had before? So as you can see, the Ftse over here sort of double bottomed at this 52.05 level. We tested it, and once we broke out, we tested it again, and then since then it's gone back down. Now the question is, are we going to reach that, or are we going to test the 51.30 again? We've actually tested it about 4 times today, 5 times I think, and it's held strong, so it's going to be very interesting to see whether that level holds, and if it doesn't, could get back into this range coming downwards, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens on that front. But if we do bounce, then like I said, we got 52.05 to look at, and after that 52.77, and then we got the fib retracement levels that I sort of plotted from the move down, and then at 38.2 we have 52.91, 50 is 53.42, and going up to 61 will be 53.94. So looking at this right now, it looks a very clear and concise trend downwards, and if we break 52.05, then I might be looking to see if we can get some sort of bounce back towards those levels I just mentioned. But right now, with the failed German Bund auction that we had yesterday, there's a lot of negativity, and the fact that Germany, one of the biggest, the biggest economy in Europe, is having these can't fulfill their auction, sort of suggests that the lot of you, as I'll show you right now in the Bund, there's a lot of confidence being lost, and the Bund has been somewhat of a safe haven along with the US Treasuries. And then so with that data coming out yesterday, it's really spooked a couple of people, and we've had a massive drop off in the Bund. And so bearing that in mind, the fact that you actually think, what do people put their money into now? Because if the bunds aren't safe, for example, equities ain't good. You just got to think, how much can people sit on cash for? So bearing that in mind, I do think that coming to the end of the year that we will have a rally in equities, just purely because there's nothing else to really put money into, and equities are relatively cheap right now. I think the data is going to spell a lot of what's going to happen, and obviously the progress out of Europe, and whether we get some sort of solid bailout or not in terms of what's going to, what Europe are going to do. So there's a lot of factors, and I'll be looking at that very closely to see which way the trend of this market could be. But right now there's a clear downtrend, so I'll be looking to look for these resistance levels, and look at the action around there and see what the buy and selling activity is, whether to try to play the fade back down or to see if there's going to be a trend reversal. Looking at the Bund, like I was saying, with the Bund we have, as you can see, the Bund has been, after we bounced off that 32.90 level that we had in October, pretty much had a 600-point move up. Huge move, pretty much no pullback. It's been a one-way street. Every bar, as you can say, very little pullback, and then we reached at 138.30. Then the real volatility started to kick in, and we started to have some very big ranges, and as you can see, there was a slightly positive upward channel that we had, a good 200 points in range, and we actually reached a high of 139.59. And then since then we've actually been on a downward channel, and as you can see here, this top trend line and bottom trend line and the channel has been another good 200 points again. And we've been bouncing off it quite nicely, and but then once the Bund auction came out yesterday, we had a massive spike off in bunds, and we actually had a 300-point move yesterday, which was huge, a huge move, and we broke out this lower channel, and since then we actually dropped 130 odd points. Now we bounced off quite sharply off 134.36, so that's going to be a significant level if we go back down towards that level, to see whether it bounces or whether it breaks through again. But in terms of levels to look to go short, I'll be looking at playing a bounce of this trend line downwards. So we're probably looking anywhere in the 135.40 to 50 range might be a good level to short, and then further up from that, I plotted fib levels from this move down, this 300-point move down. So we have a 38.2 at 135.67, 50 at 07, and 61.8 at 47. And so these could be some sort of sticking points if we get around these levels, to see if we can play the reversal for about a good 10, 20, 30 pips hopefully. And but if we do get back into this channel, then we're looking at getting back towards this upper trend line, where we might find some sticking points around there. So you can see the Bund's been very topsy-turvy. It's been quite a bit of a yo-yo, and it's going to be hard to try to find a long-term direction, but in terms of short-term movement, that's the sort of levels that I'll be looking at. And so looking forward, I'll be probably looking at going, I'm much more, even though regardless of the Bund auction, I'll definitely be looking to go long any point I can off these levels, because I think we've come off quite a bit, and still a lot of tension. And I think just like with the US when they got the downgrade, I think Bund will come back up in the long run, but short term I'll be looking to play the small bounce off these levels that I just mentioned. It's going to be very interesting now. We're coming up to December, which is historically a pretty quiet month. A lot of traders go on holiday and things like that, and Christmas season where a lot of the banks shut up books and stuff like that. So we'll be looking very closely as to how the lack of liquidity, for example, will exacerbate some of these moves, because as I've been noticing since I've come back, the volumes have dropped off massively in the Euribors. The Euribor months, the white months have only been trading 70,000 odd contracts, when normally they do about 140, 150. Today is Thanksgiving, so it's not surprising that we're seeing a very low volume. Ftse, we've only done 28,000 and it's 11 o'clock, but again, low volume leads to more exaggerated moves, so might see a few surprises here and there, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But we'll do another update next week and we'll see where we go ahead from this. So good luck trading. Take it easy during Christmas, don't size up too much, and we'll just see how it goes from here. Alright, till next time, and I'm just going to leave you with what I believe are key levels in the Ftse and the Bund, and I'll catch up with you next week.